7.5, solving rational equations. So the easiest one is where you have a proportion. There aren't any other numbers added in. A ratio equals a ratio. All you do here is cross multiply. So 12x plus 15 equals 9x plus 9. Get your x's on the same side. There's the bigger one. 3x plus 15 equals 9. And try to solve for that x. After you're done, you check your answer, just a good habit, and see if the left side equals the right. Now, when you have more than just a ratio equals a ratio, you have to multiply both sides by the lowest common multiple, which in this case is going to be 4x. So again, I like to use these big parentheses and put 4x on both sides to remind myself that I have to distribute through. X's cancel, you're left with 20. 4's cancel, you're left with 7x equals. They don't really cancel, you're distributing that 4x through, and then while you're doing that, the x's would cancel, the 4 would cancel. But it's like a temporary cancel because you still want to distribute. X's cancel here, you're left with a negative 36. All right, so then 7x equals negative 56, x equals negative 8. Again, you want to put negative 8 into the answer. When you multiply by 4x and 4x, there is a possibility that you're going to get an answer that is incorrect. So let's see, it's going to be 5 over negative 8 plus 7/4 equals negative 9/8 is a positive 9/8. Now, is that correct? Well, this is going to be 14/8, and subtracting 5/8 gives you 9/8, so yes, it is. Therefore, that is correct. Again, the same idea on this one. You're going to want to multiply by the lowest common denominator, which is going to be x times x minus 5. Don't think that that x goes into here an even amount of times, because you're going to have a remainder when you divide x into x minus 5. There is no cancellation. So you're going to multiply again both sides by x times x minus 5, and then treat it on each as a distributive property. Okay, so this becomes, I'm just going to distribute right now, x squared minus 5x times 1, which is x squared minus 5x. The second one, the x minus 5's cancel, and so it's minus 8x equals x is canceled, 3x minus 15. Okay, x squared is where we're going to keep that positive on that side. This is minus 13x, subtracting 3 minus 16x, and plus 15. And I like the look of that because we are next try to factor, and this is going to factor nicely. Minus 15x minus 1. Minus 15x minus x is minus 16x, so it works. So you have two possible answers. You have an answer that is going to be 15 and an answer that's going to be 1. But we want to make sure, again, that the left side equals the right side. So 1 minus 8 over x minus 5. If I put in 15, I get 1 minus 8 over 10. And does that equal 3 over x, which is 3 over 15? Well, let's see. The left side is going to be 2/10 by putting 10 over 10, minus 8 over 10. And this does not equal, this is equal to 1/5. Yes, it does equal. So 2/10 equal 1/5, and 15 does work. 1 minus 8 over -4 and 3 over 1. So yes, 3 equals 3, and that also works. So both my answers work. X equals 1 or 15. Just want to talk about what you would multiply on both sides. Again, on this one, you would multiply by 5x on both sides, and then distribute over here. On this one, you would have to multiply by 2x times x plus 1. 2x times x plus 1. And it's really that over 1, that over 1. Remember, you can do the same thing on both sides of an equation and keep the original equation. And it'll be equivalent. It'll be equivalent form of the original equation. This one, you would factor this, x minus 1 times x plus 1. And then you would see that the lowest common multiple would be x minus 1, x plus 1, and that's what you would multiply on both sides of that equation. So in solving these problems where you have equations of rational functions or rational equations, what you want to do is find the lowest common multiple of the denominator, multiply on both sides such that the fractions become essentially eliminated, and then go ahead and solve. Checking your answer, because once you multiply both sides by a variable, you have to check your answer. You can get extraneous solutions.